morning, Washington. It's Big Dave here on Dave TV for the Monday, the 17th of October. Listen to this. This is actually being broadcast now on Washington area radio. Hear that? That is WIAD 94.7's HD3 channel, which is supposed to be relaying WJFK. Now, what makes that matter worse is that that's been going on for a week plus. I mean, that was going on for last week, too. If you go to their second HD channel, you get WHFS out of Baltimore. And if you go to their main channel, you get the main signal of WIAD Fresh 94.7. But if you go to 2, then you go back to 3, and that's what you get. That's HD radio. That is that. Go buy an HD radio and tune in a 94.7's HD3, and that's what you'll get. And it's been going on for more than a week. So, wow, Steve Swenson, thumbs up. You're doing great. Oh, man, oh, man. Oh, what a day, what a day. And then, of course, there's this.
From Channel 11, Maryland's leading news station, this is Action News.
Okay, that's the Action News opening for Channel 11 there, back in the 70s. And, I just bring that up because we're doing a little tribute today to the great Ron Smith. Most people probably know I tend to lean to the left in my political opinions. I tend to be a lefty. But I honestly have to say, I probably enjoy listening to conservatives on the radio more than lefties because I like ideas that challenge mine. I do not particularly like listening to people on the radio that basically just bounce back my opinions at me. I don't find that challenging. It's just like, okay, I believe it. Why do I need to hear someone tell me it? It doesn't really do much for me. So I tend to like to listen to conservatives, and I tend to like to listen to intelligent conservatives, not ones that are going to sit there and rant and rage and scream and yell and call names. I don't like that. I like conservatives that are going to be, logical and passionate, but intellectual, not name-calling, not, calling Obama the regime or a man-child like the dipshit Rush Limbaugh does all the time. I don't like that. I don't like that when liberals do that to Republicans. I don't like that when conservatives do that to Democrats. I think it's belittling and bullyish. But I always loved listening to Ron Smith because from 9 to noon on WBAL AM 1090, he doesn't do that. It's an intelligent show. It's not boring. It's not dry where they just sit there and have a bunch. He kicks it up a little bit, but he doesn't do the name calling and the ranting and the raging like you hear from Chris Plant or some of these other idiots on the radio. It's a nice, intelligent show. And as a liberal, I can listen to him and go, okay, I just heard somebody, tell me an opinion I don't agree with. I'm not sitting there fuming. When I listen to people like Chris Plant, I want to take a hammer and smash the radio because the guy's just such a clown, stupid clown. So, I always have liked Ron Smith, and I've always said that. And so it's doubly sad today to hear the news. And I did get some people yesterday, say, hey, Ron's going to make a big important health news announcement today at the beginning of his show. So I knew it was coming, but it's just so sad. He's got stage 4 pancreatic cancer that has spread. So, going to do the chemotherapy thing, going to continue with his radio show as best he can. But, it's a nasty kind of cancer. It's not like prostate. So if you're an older guy and you get prostate cancer, well, it's kind of everybody does in a sense. But pancreatic cancer, and I don't even know what the pancreas does. It's just excretes something that you use in your digestive system. I don't know. But anyhow, all our best for Ron. Hope he can keep his radio show going for a while. And one of the good guys, one of the really good guys in local radio. And so there. A few memories of Ron. Before he joined WBAL radio in the 80s, he used to be on television. That's right. For a number of years there, he was over there on Channel 11. And, sister Channel 11 there, and did the news. He was an anchor, and there he is. I'm not sure the dates on these. This is from the 80s, probably the early 80s, maybe 1980-ish, but there you go. There's Ron right there. And Spencer Christian, is that who that is? And Sue Simmons, who's now up in NBC in New York on Channel 4 there. And that, I believe, is Mike Hambrick. I saw a picture of Mike lately. He works for some trade association now, and he doesn't have any hair left. He's got the bald look. And, of course, Norm Lewis? My brain, I go completely. Norm. A cool guy there, Baltimore. I'll think of it. What the hell. Anyhow, and here we go with another one. This is also Sue Simmons and Ron Smith there. Very young-looking Ron Smith there. And apparently they did a show called Baltimore at 1, weekdays and 1 o'clock. Gee, I wonder how they got the name. Kind of a newsy talk show, I would imagine. So that's that. And, of course, another promo there for Channel 11 News from the 80s with Ron. God, that guy's... Yeah. Stan Stovall. Vince Bagley. Oh, Norm. Why am I thinking Norm? Vince Bagley, the long-time... I'm telling you, my brain's rotting. Ron Smith, Stan Stovall, Vince Bagley. That's who that is, not Norm. I'm thinking Norm. And Rudy Miller, of course, there at Channel 11. And, for years, Channel 11's been battling Channel 13 in Baltimore for the news crown. So there. So anyhow, I like Ron a lot. And, I hope he... let's all say a little prayer to whichever God we worship and say, hey, we want Ron around for a good long time. We like Ron. And, so there. All right, folks. So thumbs up to Ron. Good luck. And we're all sending you those positive thoughts. Face north. What is it? Baltimore is to the northeast. So I'm facing northeast, which is that direction. And I'm going to be directing some positive energy over there to Television Hill to Ron Smith. All right, folks. Some other big news. Lindsay Czarniak. Remember her? She used to be the hot chick. Well, she still is a hot chick over there at Channel 4 Sports. She married Craig Melvin, who was for a short time there, a Channel 4 news anchor. They were married here in Washington on Saturday. They got engaged back in April, and both of them have left Channel 4 since then. He's gone up to New York to become an anchor on MSNBC, and she's gone up to ESPN to work in Bristol, their headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut. So they're both up there in the Northeast. So, New York, Bristol, it's only 7,500 miles apart. They probably live somewhere in Fairfield County or Westchester County in between the two places. So good luck to them. What else? A bunch of Loudoun County publications are up for sale. We hear that Leesburg today, Ashburn today, Loudoun Magazine, Loudoun Business are all being put up for sale by their parent company. Who knows, In the newspaper business, these little weekly rags kind of are going away. Interesting article. Dan Steinberg wrote an interesting piece in Sunday's Washington Post about Steve Buckhantz. He looks at the future career options for longtime DC TV sportscaster Steve Buckhantz. I like Steve. Steve's a little older than I, but he went to JMU, and I remember him. I was at JMU in the late 70s, and I remember him working over at Channel 3. We had the one major TV station in town, Channel 3 WHSV, which was an ABC station, still is, and they had a grunky old newscast on there, and I remember seeing Steve Buckhantz working there way back, right when he was out of college. And I thought at the time, this guy's going nowhere, man. No, I didn't. I didn't know it was good. I didn't realize that he'd be going off working 27 years in Washington. He used to be at Channel 5, was the top sports anchor back at Channel 5 for many years, and now works for Comcast Sportsnet, covering the Washington Wizards. And there was an article there saying, you know, he's kind of underemployed at the moment. Well, there are two ways to look at the article. You could say he's underemployed and that he only is doing Wizards coverage, and he really would like some more on his plate in the Washington TV market. And some other folks have said, no, you know, they meant he's underemployed in the fact that the Wizards and the NBA is, you know, not playing at the moment because of labor issues. Therefore, he's, you know, that's why he's underemployed. So whether it's the short-term underemployment with the NBA strike thingy-dingy or the long-term underemployment, whether, you know, he really wants a top anchor position back, and there was one vacant over at Channel 9 with Brett Haber leaving, who knows? Read it either way. You know, that's the fun of journalism. You can kind of put yourself into it and read it either way. So there. Chris Teskey joins WAMU here in Washington. He's going to be the senior music producer for Bluegrass Country. He's worked at a bunch of stations up in Connecticut, including WPKN, where he programmed bluegrass for more than 3 decades. God, he's got to be old. Anyhow, he'll be working at Bluegrass Country, which you can hear now on the air, over the air on 105.5 here in Washington and on WAMU's 88.5 HD2. So there. All right, folks. Keep it relatively short today. Where am I? Where's my computer's melting down? 11 minutes. That's not short. It's long. Best wishes, Ron. Get well. Keep those positive thoughts. Shirley MacLaine said, think the positive thoughts and good things will happen to you. Thanks for watching. This is Dave TV. Cut.